Some can't wait to die.
Give me a break! You on my side? Cool!
it back! Huh.
So be it. Feel my pain. Come, Anima! power that defeated Anima. It will be mine!
Your aeons against mine. It's not over yet! I cannot let you pass.
Traitor! Find your salvation on the far plane!
Viran rend you asunder! Hornless! Hornless! You win. You win, Kimari Ransov.
Pitiful mortal. Your hope ends here! And your meaningless existence with it!
me be your liberator.
Now! This is it! Now is the time to choose. Die and be free of pain, or live and fight your sorrow. Now is the time to shape your stories. Your fate is in your hands. Yuna needs Kimahri. Kimahri protect Yuna.
Well, I'm fighting.
I can't believe we're gonna fight Lady Yunalesca. Give me a break.
You can always run.
I'd never forgive myself. No way. Not if I ran away now. Even in death, yeah?
My thoughts exactly.
Yuna! This is our story. Now let's see this thing through together. All right. I'm coming for you, Dad!
Oppose me as well? So be it.
quick! Hit me with all you got, Dad! it's selfish, but this is my story.